Hi, this is the explanation video for our group's interactive section. Essentially, what we ended up making was this pirate ship where you can move about and fire the cannons. I think it's pretty sick. We also have some point lights. We have a material with a texture in it, as well as various other materials that we had to get to work, and a sky background. This started in our Blender file, where we had to make various changes to actually be able to more easily do our code. We had to add better naming conventions for our actual cannons, as well as create these explosion objects. In Unreal Engine we added particle emitters for our explosions, but obviously for web GPU this was a bit more difficult. These two cubes here were added for where our point lights are, as you can see here, and they're not actually visible, but they're used for the position because we were struggling with actually using the actual point lights when put into the group. Okay, so from the code we have an object loader file which is made to load OBJs, and it's got like different functions that we use to go through the file and load them. And then this is paired with our material loader, which we use to go through the different material files for the blender of this ship. The ship was put as one part, so we had a lot of materials for a lot of different material groups. This took one of the most times to actually do because of the finickiness of everything, but it wasn't too bad. Then essentially we created a camera file, and within the camera file we have an update loop where we have all the different keys, and we created different movement vectors and directions based on the keys, and this updates consistently, and that is how we created the movement controls for the interaction. We added some other web UI elements, like these controls on the bottom here and our group name text. This is the images that we've included in here. I will add a link to where these are from inside the README, and I believe this was done in the index. It wasn't me who specifically did this part, so I can't tell you, but that was done quite well. For the interaction, the hardest interaction was obviously our cannon. For our cannon we had to do a lot of grouping of the objects. If I can find it. Yeah, so we went through the objects, and if they contained cannon, we gave them a type essentially. Then we had to then tag them with whether they were the left-sided ones or the right-sided ones, because we originally were having the cannons stick off the side if they were the left-handed ones, because they have to move in opposite directions essentially. So we named these left in here, and we then searched for left within the code. We then created like a bright material. It's not got much lighting affected to it. Then for the actual movement of the cannons, we have a function for each cannon, and we essentially interpolate the position outwards back to its original default position, scale up the explosion mesh, and then move the cannon back to the inside position. Essentially, it's like the cannon's being pushed out and then recoiling backwards. We then had to code a debounce on the fire button, because otherwise you could fire the cannons while they were in firing, and this caused various issues as well. So the debounce essentially is some code that stated if we were in the firing sequence, you can't start a firing sequence. And this is essentially how we made this web GPU interactive diorama. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope this explanation has been enjoyable. Thank you.